The little boy who dreamed to be a prince. Hello, my dear sweet angels. Once upon a time, in a quiet village tucked between golden fields and green hills, there lived a little boy named Sami. Sami was not rich, nor was he strong or tall. He was a simple boy who helped his mother gather firewood and his father tend the goats. But in his heart, Sami carried a dream brighter than the sun. He wished to be a prince. Each night, as the stars appeared, Sami would lie on his straw bed and close his eyes. In his dreams, he wore fine robes and a crown that glimmered like dawn. He rode horses with manes like silk and sat at feasts where music never ended. But more than anything, in his dreams, he had the power to bring joy and comfort to everyone around him. Still, in the daylight, he was just Sami the shepherd's son. One evening, as the village grew quiet and the crickets began to sing, Sami whispered to the moon, "If only I could be a prince, even for a little while, so I could make the world better." To his surprise, the moon answered. Its voice was gentle and silvery. "Little one, if you truly wish to be a prince, then you must seek the kingdom of true crowns, hidden beyond the whispering woods. There you will find what it means to rule." Sami's eyes widened. "The kingdom of true crowns?" The moon nodded. "Yes, but beware, not all who wish to be a prince understand what it takes. You must prove yourself through 3 trials." The boy's heart pounded, but he stood tall. "I am ready." The next morning, Sami set out with nothing but a crust of bread, a wooden flute, and his courage. He walked through fields, past rivers, until at last he entered the whispering woods. The trees here were old and tall, their leaves murmuring secrets in the wind. Shadows danced between the roots, and the air smelled of moss and magic. Soon, Sami came to a clearing where a golden crown rested upon a stone. His eyes lit up. A crown, at last. He reached for it eagerly, but as his fingers touched the metal, the crown crumbled into dust. A voice echoed through the forest. "First trial. A prince must not hunger for power, but for service. Will you continue, even without a crown?" Sami's cheeks burned with shame, but he nodded. "Yes, I will continue." The path opened, and he walked on. The second trial came at a river so wide and rushing that no bridge could cross. On the far side stood an old woman, bent with age, carrying a heavy basket of sticks. "Help me," she called, "for I cannot cross." Sami looked at the raging water, then at his own small hands. He could not carry her across, nor build a bridge. But he remembered his flute. Gently he lifted it to his lips and played a soft, sweet tune. The river grew calm. The waters parted, revealing a safe path of shining stones. Sami hurried across and helped the old woman carry her basket. As they reached the far bank, she straightened, her form glowing until she was no longer an old woman, but a queen crowned in silver light. Second trial passed, she said kindly. "A prince must bring peace where there is trouble, and use wisdom where strength is not enough." Sami bowed deeply and continued his journey. The third trial came at the heart of the forest, where a small bird lay trapped beneath a thorn bush. Its wing was torn, and it chirped weakly. Sami knelt beside it, his eyes full of sorrow. "Oh, little one, you're hurt." Carefully, he pricked his own finger to draw a drop of blood, using it to soften the thorns. He freed the bird gently, then tore a strip from his shirt to bandage its wing. The bird fluttered and sang, its voice pure as crystal. Suddenly, the air filled with golden light, and the bird transformed into a shining messenger of the kingdom of true crowns. "You have passed the final trial," the messenger declared. "For a true prince does not wear his crown on his head, but in his heart. He protects the weak, comforts the small, and gives even when it costs him." Before Sami's eyes, the forest shifted into a magnificent kingdom with towers gleaming and banners fluttering in the wind. A royal robe settled on his shoulders, and a crown of light shone upon his brow. For one night and one day, Sami lived as a prince. He walked through the grand halls, and wherever he went, people smiled and bowed. But he did not feast or boast. Instead, he spent his time giving bread to the hungry, listening to the poor, and playing his flute to heal sorrow. When the sun rose again, the moon's voice returned. You have seen what it means to be a true prince. Do you still wish for this life? Sami thought of the robes and crown, the halls and riches. Then he thought of his village, his parents, and the goats waiting in the fields. He smiled softly. I do not need a crown to live as a prince. I can serve, help, and comfort my people even as Sami, the shepherd's son. The crown of light faded, and the kingdom dissolved into the morning mist. Sami found himself once more in the whispering woods, with only his flute in hand, but his heart was forever changed. From that day on, Sami lived as he had learned. He helped the old, fed the poor, and brought joy with his music. The villagers often said, Sami has the heart of a prince, though no crown ever touched his head. And every night, when he looked to the sky, the moon seemed to smile upon him. Moral: being a true prince is not about wearing crowns or living in castles. It is about kindness, service, and carrying a noble heart, no matter where you are.